Today, we have prepared for you another bright selection of the most exciting and spectacular moments in the world of sports. Get ready to witness the most incredible victories, ridiculous defeats, and completely unpredictable situations that will take your breath away. We'll show you those whose skills and abilities go beyond sports opportunities. Are you ready now? Then subscribe to our channel, like this video, and immerse yourself in the amazing and exciting world of sports. Let's go! It's not enough just to be born a genius. In sports, you can only become one, and only by having put a lot of effort into this. No wonder they say that the goalkeeper is half the team, and their task is to literally protect the goal.
What a save that is from Danka. Kroetsky did one earlier in the tournament, and what about that for a save from Danka? That's even better.
Someone constantly finds excuses not to go to the gym, and others demonstrate incredible strength of body and spirit no matter what. Brazilian Heloa Camelo demonstrated one of the most perfect diving in recent years at the 2022 Junior World Championships. To win world competitions, you just need good technique and an incredible reaction. I wonder if the goalkeeper of the Burkina Faso national team made a mistake in his childhood. Maybe it was worth going to the world of athletics after all. Amateur customers in the gym rarely surprise anyone, but some people can still shock us. Football matches in rural areas are sometimes delayed for completely normal reasons. By the way, this is a great opportunity for the players to take a break and gather their strength. Olympic jumper Stefan Feck showed the most painful way of entering the water. There are a few ways to scare the referee in football, and it seems she accidentally found one of them. Perhaps it's difficult to imagine a more spectacular and vivid duel than a game of table tennis. This is the most amazing takeoff run we've ever seen. That's what it means to be on time at the last second. You definitely won't be able to see something like this in the skate park near the house. And this is Zeb Goodwin. Thanks to his tricks, he basically can't fall. A kick through yourself is more likely to be expected in football, but sometimes volleyball players also use it. This is just an incredible trick to confuse an opponent right in front of the ring. Getting around the goalkeeper is still half the battle, but to score, you need to keep your balance. Such a maneuver not only looks spectacular, but also greatly enhances the throw. And this is what the "at the wrong time, in the wrong place" phrase looks like. Surprisingly, even after slipping on the board, she was able to enter the water quite smoothly. Despite the incredibly spectacular jump, this Swedish athlete never managed to break her own record. Before celebrating a victory, it's advisable to cross the finish line. He accidentally helped a fan take his place in the arena. And yet, rhythmic gymnastics is one of the best types of sports. He's finally found a place where he can play with cyclists properly. And when it would seem that everything is over, some higher powers are interfering in the case. This is definitely one of the top 10 worst innings in the history of volleyball. It turns out that with a weight of 163 kilograms, you can be the best basketball player in your college. The passengers of this train are incredibly lucky. From the window, they can watch a local football match for free.
It was so cool! It's hard to comprehend how this is even possible.
Once every 2 years, representatives of different countries who have become winners in the national qualifying stages take part in the International Rubik's Cube High-Speed World Championship. Here, even 1/100th of a second matters. Not everyone knows how to keep themselves upright on the ice. Even the red carpet could not help one of the sponsors of the event. Mackenzie Blackwood, a member of the New Jersey Devils hockey team, had to deal with a water bottle while having no opportunity to take at least one sip. Fencing is a complex and elegant sport where athletes move incredibly plastically. But even here, we can see awkward moments and mistakes. For some reason, the organizers of the running competitions did not think through the possibility that the inventory of athletes who train nearby could interfere and prevent the winner from being determined. Such situations are very dangerous for riders. The only way they can get there unharmed is through their skills and the team that supports and accompanies them. This jumper is more hungry for fame than achievement. Therefore, he's unlikely to become a professional athlete. A large number of fans at the stadium means a total lack of any personal space, so you can easily face such a situation. The Italian athlete Gurka Maria Roberta knows how to attract attention not only with her magnificent pole vaulting. Disappointment comes at the moment when you realize that in order to get a more significant role at such an event, you will have to train a lot and get older. Do not try to repeat such an exercise without proper preparation. While looking at this girl, we can safely say that she can handle any hardships and difficulties. Chinese discipline and precision have long been legendary, and sports are no exception here either. Force majeure happens in any sport, and the referee's task is to stop the game as soon as possible. In the pole vault, each of the 3 attempts is extremely valuable. Do you know what kind of unsuccessful attempt can be repeated? Share your opinion in the comments below. I have a question for badminton fans. What should be done according to the rules in this situation? Share your answer in the comments below. It was a great start, and it's a pity she made a mistake in the end. Remember, you can help your opponent even in a difficult moment. Who would have thought that a three-point shot at the last second would allow the team to take the lead? Maybe it seemed to everyone that this guy's jump was doomed to fail, but he had completely different plans. This is not just a beautiful tennis feint, but also a good way to confuse an opponent. Sometimes, in order to save your volleyball team, you have to take the most desperate measures. Unfortunately, before you come to victory, you always have to experience a few setbacks. Some players learn to imitate violations directly from their coach. At least, that's the kind of show he performed during a dispute with the referee. The speed of 150 kilometers per hour, a turn, and a small mistake almost ruined the race of German luge driver Felix Lach, but luck and skill allowed him to reach the finish line. At the 2015 European Games in Baku, an incident occurred in the trampoline jumping competition. The athlete could have been seriously injured if not for the lightning reaction of one of the observers. He forgot that his stick prefers to stay on the ice and will make every effort not to leave it. Do you also think it's time for the coach to reconsider his strategy and approach to the game? Despite the fact that the girl slipped very badly, she managed to gracefully and most importantly safely dive into the pool. Is it fair to play with a person who is not affected by gravity? This is what respect for sport looks like. Despite the fact that the referee did not notice, the girl herself admitted that the ball touched her face. With such a spectacular serve, it simply is impossible not to score the ball. Just check out how well she keeps her balance. There is something romantic even during competitions. Can you count how many times he turned over? Novak Djokovic is not just one of the best tennis players in the world, but also an athlete with a big heart and a great sense of humor. God only knows how many falls and bruises these athletes face during training. Sometimes even the simplest and most ridiculous mistakes deprive you of the cherished gold medal. Sometimes there are real acting talents among football players. This guy would have been successful not only in football, but also on stage. There is no more devoted fan than your own mom, and no matter how old you are, she always sincerely rejoices and supports you. Please like the video if you agree with us. Those who played football with their grandmother in the village as a child are familiar with similar situations firsthand. First of all, a real human being lives in every athlete. It is thanks to this that such athletes become legends. Sometimes you need to say, "Oh, can I try it?" to see that you are far from a magician and a sorcerer. Tennis can hardly be called the most traumatic sport, but sometimes there are ridiculous moments in it. Maybe he didn't make the jump, but check out how expertly he avoided the fall. Like it if you also have problems with dexterity. We are almost sure that because of this mistake, one of the biggest confrontations in athletics will be born. If you and your friends get tired of playing regular football, try to do it on bicycles. By the way, this is a real sport and it's called cycling football. After the victory, the wrestler even performed one of the exercises and put the coach on the floor. The incident in no way affected their sincere joy.
And how do you like such a twist? To be honest, I can't do without your comments here.
The girl is not just flexible, but also performs tricks and balance exercises with the ball. Do you think this is a distraction or some kind of strange and completely inappropriate ritual dance? These athletes may not like the taste of beer, but it was necessary to celebrate the victory with this drink. Without such an unpleasant situation, nobody would have noticed the cup presentation ceremony. This couple from Malaysia showed the audience an incredible level of synchronous movements. Bravo, girls! Perhaps this is a legend of the 70s, or maybe this is the most famous fan of the team. Whatever it was, we shall show some honor and respect. It seems that they are so immersed in such an uncompromising struggle that they do not remember the current score of the game. One of the main qualities of a real athlete is to reach the finish line despite failure. Sometimes you just can't do without the help of cheerleaders in a basketball game. Not the best start does not always mean an imminent loss. Skills, strength, and the will to win work wonders. But not every successful start can be crowned with a successful performance. What a spectacular start, but unfortunately, she hit the bar. Taking off and then doing a somersault on a 5,000 kilogram or 12,000 pound device is an easy task for him. Sometimes the goalkeeper's role has to be taken over by the defender, and sometimes they need to do it twice in 3 seconds. Now you can witness one of the most useless football life hacks. After making a circle, they thought they could bring the ball to the goal, but their strategy was ruined immediately after the first meeting with the opponent. For a guy with a ball, crashing into a wall would be less painful. Despite his size, this guy can show what real explosive speed is. Such a surfing simulator is a great way to understand that surfing is not for you, even before reaching the seashore. Kylian Mbappe decided to repeat Maradona's famous goal, but one is unlikely to enter the same river twice. There is nothing more valuable than sincere children's emotions and the noble hearts of adults. It would seem that it is difficult to pass the baton from hand to hand. It turns out that not everything is so simple. It's a great way of family psychotherapy, isn't it? Such victories will definitely strengthen the marriage. A woman can be weak, but not if she's a football referee. The famous basketball player Dirk Nowitzki decided to surprise the audience with an unusual kick in a charity match, but his idea 100% failed. That's what it means to be a truly desperate American football fan. At the same time, they were able to become a YouTube star. I wonder how he's going to win the next set without a racket. This is what happens when you practice two different types of sports and come to the wrong competition. This video is especially for those who think that table tennis is a slow sport. I have a question for basketball fans. Do they add points for such a hit in the basket? What a promising start and what a bad jump. It's a shame. Such a mistake stunned even their defending rivals. Given the superpowers of the operators, sometimes they run faster than the competitors. Just watch their hands. It seems that this is Peter Parker before the start of his superheroism. The most devoted cheerleaders cannot be ignored. And yet, how unforgettable and strong are the emotions from the long-awaited victory?
Yes, well done.
This is one of the most unusual and striking combinations in the history of futsal. A failed jump is the end of the game and the final score. Sometimes the stars and even constellations can help you. What a vivid performance of such a complex element, and even the laws of physics did not prevent it from ending on a positive side. Women's volleyball attracts with its grace, but only athletes can experience all its charms and features.
Look at that one drop. Oh my goodness.
At the 500-meter running competition, it was possible to observe the unethical behavior of one of the athletes who grabbed an opponent by the t-shirt. In order to engage in barrier running, speed is not enough. You also need to be able to overcome obstacles. The fans watched with bated breath, but the game stopped at the most interesting moment. Of course, it'll not be possible to win by his efforts alone, but the audience was definitely delighted with his desperate attempt to hit the ball. After another achievement, it is still very important to stop and take a breath at some point. For sure, it's against the rules, but it looked very impressive. Golden State forward Draymond Green wiped the sweat off his face with the ball before the free throw. I wonder if he did it to feel better or to make the ball slide better. Some boxing matches are quite calm, while in the others, the expression is off the scale, and it is difficult to even imagine what'll happen next. James Harden visited a summer camp where he held a basketball training session for children. The first and most important lesson is never to lose sight of the ball. Perhaps in such an unusual but effective way, it's quite easy to score a goal. Apparently, the chances of scoring depend not so much on the goalkeeper's skills as on the manner of execution of the penalty. Swimming and its aesthetics can compete only with women's figure skating. And even if your performance ended unsuccessfully, this is no reason to despair. Positive people sooner or later succeed. No matter how perfectly the main part of the show was performed, landing still directly affects the final scores. If you can no longer catch up with your opponent and your strength is running out, the most unusual techniques shall be used. This is another winning shot for your team in the last second of the match. Do you think this is a well-practiced skill, or is he just incredibly lucky today? What was the chance that he would hit from this distance? This is what a virtuoso BMX mastery looks like. This is another proof that you don't have to celebrate victory too early. It only took 2 seconds for the Brazilian athlete to take a takedown and win. Despite their failure at the Beijing Olympics, this couple found the strength to rise up and win the hearts of the local audience. It seems that this hockey player is a real Aikido master. Sports is mostly about results, but it is extremely important that rivals do not forget about respect. I bet you haven't seen such jumping rope training sessions yet. Sometimes athletes are totally controlled by their emotions. Seizures are one of the most frequent and sad reasons for the disqualification of athletes. It seems that it was not the force of the blow that was crucial here, but the technique of execution. World Table Tennis is an event where the best table tennis players in the world gather, and judging by this set, they are really the best in their field. No matter how tough and ruthless the duel is, mutual respect for the rivals for each other is the basis of a healthy sporting spirit. Goalkeepers also need to practice their ball possession technique from time to time. There is no more vivid way to congratulate a coach on a victory than a throw over the hip. This guy combined the athleticism of Usain Bolt and the jumping ability of Michael Jordan. It would seem that there is nothing difficult here. How hard is it to score in an empty goal? But it also requires skill. Ultimately, it's not the prizes that make athletes great. I'm talking about their kind hearts. Perhaps even Beyonce and Shakira would envy such a performance. This is Mitch Brusco, and his skateboard has a cheat code that disables gravity. Self-presentation in athletics is no less important than the results themselves. Every athlete needs to be more careful in celebrating their triumph because you can easily get a ridiculous injury at this emotional moment. Sometimes just a small mistake in technique can ruin your whole performance. This is what the purest tornado kick looks like. Despite the huge tension, it is important for athletes to control their emotions. Otherwise, they will have to change their inventory too often, and their rivals will feel their vulnerability. Pay attention to the girl from behind. She makes a real show from the first seconds. It is very important to find a common language with the coach and really listen to his advice and instructions. It would seem that she had been preparing for this fateful moment all her life, but she could not perform the jump and confirm her skills. The referee made a mistake and announced the victory of the losing athlete. He quickly corrected the mistake, but people were already a bit disappointed. It seems that gravity or another invisible force resisted and deprived him of a chance to perform well. The performance on the balance beam lasts 60 to 90 seconds, during which time the gymnast must have time to complete the program. Therefore, even though it is a static exercise, it is necessary to perform very quickly and clearly.
If you want to switch to something else, don't be hurry. Something truly interesting is just about to begin.
Nervous tension and the burden of responsibility affect everyone. Performing a corner kick, the girl managed to hit the flag instead of the ball. It was a difficult time to predict which of them would win, but one of the athletes fell right before the finish line, which made the moment even more dramatic. This is the strangest penalty we've ever seen. And yet sometimes emotions prevail too much over athletes. Few people could make a 2-meter man feel small, but he did it. This referee loves spoilers so much that he took a note from the team with information about their tactics. And after all, in any professional sport, it's incredibly important to choose the right and comfortable clothes. Just imagine the adrenaline level in this guy's blood if he accidentally jumped over the ropes of a boxing ring. But the world of sports can't do without a cool walk and a charming smile. This referee definitely wants to make history. 3 red cards in 20 seconds is definitely a new world record. Nevertheless, good athletic shape is the most important factor for sports. In order to score the most important and incredible goal, you don't have to be a team leader. I wonder how the players and referees appreciated such an unusual joke from the owner of a local club. Don't forget to protect the screen. Who do you think will be faster among these 3 athletes? This is probably the most brutal hockey goal we've seen. Women's diving is perhaps one of the most aesthetically beautiful sports. It's good that he didn't stumble and managed to quickly jump over the fence, otherwise injuries could not be avoided. This fan was lucky to have a young man with Spider-Man reflexes next to him. Not only cheerleaders can perform hot dances, but the players themselves sometimes do not mind relaxing from the game during the break.
Even though our episode is almost over, we would like to cheer you up and let you know that a new one will be released soon. Don't forget to click the bell so as to not miss it.